Have you been struggling with isolated raids? Trust me, you're not alone. I struggled too, but now that I'm close to a second reset, I have some insights to share. In this video, I'm going to break down how I like to approach raids, complete as many objectives as I can, and extract from the raids with as much loot as my greedy little paws can grab. I'll even summarize 2 examples of raids that I played, as well as showcase the value of almost every item in credits and chronotraces at the end. As of when this video gets uploaded, players with certain editions of the game get access to solo isolated raids without limit, but these principles should be of value if you load in with other players present too. Grab some popcorn. To start, you want to purchase or replicate gear that is inexpensive but allows you to complete objectives effectively. When I recently reset my monolith, I made sure to list what I wanted to prioritize at each monolith level. On the screen now should be every item I unlock within the monolith menu that I believe is worth it. I also considered all of the gear I was planning on using, where to get it, and how to unlock it as quickly as possible. Let's break it down. A backpack is essential to carry as much loot as possible, so don't start small. On Shigulsko, Factory, and sometimes Ozerno, loot the garages around the map for USSR hiking and climbing backpacks. Your goal is to eventually unlock the large backpack from the monolith, so while climbing backpacks are rare and high in chronotraces, try to extract with as many hiking backpacks as possible too. If you don't want to go for this one, the medium backpack is also an okay substitute. Next, ceramic plates. Headquarters is your best friend for these, and you'll find plenty of these at the southern gas station as well as the signal post where the extraction portal can sometimes be found. Load as many of these as possible into your armor slots, as well as your inventory before extracting. You may get to a point where you choose to buy these when you lose them, but for now, opt to replicate them when you get the chance. Speaking of headquarters, army pouches are your first priority for the pouch slot. They're an uncommon drop, so they're worth chronotraces, but you want to load up on them to unlock them fast too. You'll eventually upgrade to the tactical pouches, but these are the best to grab early. For medical items, keep an eye out for driver's first aid kits. You should be able to find 1 or 2 per raid in the southern edge of the map on headquarters. They're not really worth refining since they don't really give you much in terms of chronotraces, but use ampules stored inside them to progress towards replication. Once you're a bit mightier or you're playing the game with friends, Escape from Dogorsk can give you the medical bag, sometimes found on the body beside the device you extract with. It has the highest ampule capacity of any medical item at 30, so it's worth grabbing these and progressing your blueprint when you get the opportunity. For a helmet, look for the tactical PAGST helmet in, you guessed it, headquarters. It's a 5-second replication if you're in a pinch. Otherwise, play an Ozerno raid, place a device, and boom, you have an A3 helmet. It's solid, and you'll likely have more than you know what to do with, and other options prior to the IHPS helmet are only marginally better, but far less convenient. Finally, let's talk weapons. The M12 Trench is the best all-around shotgun in the entire game, period. It's quick to unlock, it's fast to replicate, and it has the fastest reload in the game. Get this unlocked quickly. Find it on a turned soldier in headquarters. Yeah, I know, headquarters again. Use it on some enemies, extract with it. Repeat this twice, easy universal problem solver. The only shotgun that competes with it is the MTS, for a very particular reason. While you're in headquarters, keep an eye out for the MP5 submachine gun. Until we get a better SMG chambered in 9x18 Makarov, this will be my go-to SMG for any SMG objective. The AK-103 is another common weapon in headquarters. Yeah, I know, headquarters, again. Definitely worth unlocking the blueprint before you can unlock the AK-12. Now, some very common objective types are bolt action and semi-auto kill objectives. While fairly common drops in Shigulsko, Factory, Ozerno, and Military Base, why rely on luck to find them? The Mosin Sniper Rifle and SKS Carbine are pretty quick and easy unlocks for when you want to bring these with you at the start of a raid. The 3.5x scope isn't too rare to find with the Mosin Sniper Rifles, and if you eventually find an SKS Hunting Carbine, you can combine it with a PSO Marksman scope for long-range superiority for cheap. My favorite pistol for completing challenges is the M9, with its accessibility and 15-round mag capacity. These are very commonly dropped from turned soldiers and headquarters. Finally, for a melee weapon, axes and MPL 50 shovels do the job until you unlock the tactical spear. You'll find these two weapons on many turned soldiers. So you have your loadout in mind. How should I approach a raid? For your first few, definitely consider renting equipment. Once you get the hiking backpack and some army pouches and ceramic plates, then you should start bringing your own equipment to isolated raids. With all of this in mind, try to complete as many objectives as possible without risking too much, so that you don't extract. This will take some practice to find out how much you can accomplish with the amount of gear you have available. Take things slow to start, take risks here and there, and don't fret if you don't extract every time. As much as this guide is here to help, some of the learning comes from experimenting and experience. As you complete primary objectives, make sure that you complete the secondary missions too, especially the story missions. Story missions, as well as a random secondary mission each day, gives you crystallized active matter, a currency used for buying special items, including isolated raid passes. Story missions also unlock recipes, which convert some of the more miscellaneous items found in raids into equipment and weapons. Unlock these, future you will thank you. All of this info sounds good on paper, but how does this all look when applied to a raid? Let's walk through the first raid I ran after resetting my monolith, as well as a recent raid I ran with more meta gear, and we'll see how I approach them. When I loaded into the first raid, I checked my missions. You start with some pretty basic ones. Find a specific enriched item, 2 combat practice missions, open some containers, and explore the raid. This was Shigolsko, so while there were a couple of anomalous zones, it's best to loot the garages and houses. I found a bunch of cassettes, fuses, distorted remains, an MTS shotgun, a Mosin sniper with a 3.5x scope, and a couple of hiking backpacks. All things considered, a very successful first outing. Fast forward a little while later, and I'm far more kitted out, but we're applying the same principles at a larger scale. We have a large backpack, tactical pouches, a safe container, and a robot dog. This means we can carry a lot of stuff. For this factory mission, we have study missions using an SMG and a bolt-action rifle. We pack a lot of ammo for our suppressed MP5, and while I did also forget to bring 7.62x54 for my Mosin, there should be some I can find in the factory in the loot vans. Also, as this raid contains flower men, I'm going to bring a flamethrower for emotional support. We came into this raid with 9 missions, and many are concentrated at the top of the map. The hangars on the right, as well as the garages south of the dormitory, are where we plan on filling our inventory with that sweet loot once we wrap the missions up. Since the weapons we brought take up space, we want to get our study missions done first. As we make our way up the left side of the map from our spawn, we start working on our bolt action kills. We get into a hairy gunfight involving turned soldiers and AI agents, but we pull it off. We take a photo and drop off our emission scanner. 2 quick and easy objectives. And dropping off the emission scanner freed up some space in our backpack for later as well. I'm keeping an eye on how much time I have left, but I'm also checking trailers in some buildings as I move, since I know these places can have some valuable miscellaneous items, as well as keys. We wrap up all of our kills for the bolt action Mosin and drop it, and pick up our sample here at the end of all the factory buildings. We end up burning through a lot of ammo on our way here, so it's a good thing we brought all those magazines. We also save time by not having to load magazines manually with loose ammo, which optimized our output in the raid. After jousting some flowermen with the last of my MP5 ammo, all of our objectives are officially completed, and I'm close to the dormitory garages. We dropped the MP5 and all of our magazines for it, because they're cheap and easy to replace, right? They've served their purpose. We need as much inventory volume and item slots as we can possibly fill for that sweet loot. I picked up an AKS from a turned soldier earlier, which I equip in case I need it, and start combing the garages. We find plenty of uncommon and rare items, and even a key for a hangar in this raid. I efficiently look through what's available in the hangar, equip the weapons I loot with an appropriate magazine, and put my heaviest weapons in my weapon slots and my safe container. Safe containers can overload, as long as it's a weapon, meaning a 380 volume PKM can fit in a small safe container with a maximum of 50. It's food for thought. I start making my way to the middle of the map with 40 seconds until raid collapse. I'm aware that a lot of the enemies I eliminated will likely have respawned, so I proceed with some caution. We deal with the enemies, lob a grenade at the extraction portal to kill the enemies that wait at it, and I wait for my dog to get close before I start extraction. And just like that, we looted 108 containers with 8 weapons, 3 uncommon helmets, 5 uncommon backpacks, and more. Over 1,300 chronotraces worth of stuff. And though we spent about 8,000 credits on gear, we completed the raid and refined items 30,000 credits richer. The final and possibly most important topic is this: how valuable are all the items in the raids? Generally speaking, most common items are worth 0.25 chronotraces per volume. Uncommons are worth about 0.38 chronotraces per volume, and rares are worth 0.5 chronotraces per volume. Combine that information with understanding how much volume each item takes up, and storing your heaviest weapons in your weapon slot and safe container, you can get upwards of 1,600 chronotraces from a single raid. Aside from refining general loot, there are a couple other means of collecting chronotraces. First, Shigulsko and Ozerno have notes hidden in the map that have minimal weight, but refined for 50 or 65 chronotraces each. You can find them in houses 3 and 9 in Shigulsko. And in the shop, post office, and admin buildings in Ozerno. There may be other examples of this in other raids, but I'm not aware of them yet. There's also the recipes from Monolith unlocks and raid quest lines. When recipes are unlocked, the game will tell you when an item in a raid is part of a recipe. These items, when made using a recipe, can be used for future raids, but they're often refinable for more chronotraces. Something to keep in mind, the items of a weapon recipe in particular are always less overall volume than the weapon that they make, so it's worth extracting with them when you have space, and your priority is free chronotraces. And that's how you become the greatest loot goblin of all of Dalani Island. You prioritize unlocking the right equipment, you approach the raid to optimize it for monolith tokens and for loot, and you use deeper knowledge of chronotraces to get the most from the looting. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please consider liking this video, subscribing, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my future uploads. I also have a Discord channel and a growing community of chill gamers, link in the video description. I am making more enlisted content, but please let me know what you would like to see more of. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.